Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Are you ready for part 3 of my eyeshadow collection slash declutter? Because I know I certainly am. By now I hope you have had the chance to watch part 1 and part 2. You'll see some of the other eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection, what I've decided to keep, and also what I've decided to give away. In this third and final part, I only have a few palettes to talk about, and when I say a few, I'm thinking maybe about 30 or so. Because we have a lot of palettes to talk about, I'm not going to take up too much time with this preamble. All I'm going to say is don't forget to subscribe and also hit the like button to show me that you've been enjoying this palette collection slash review. Alright ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. In no particular order, I'm just going to start grabbing what's on my desk right now, and the first palette that I'm seeing is from The Balm yet again. It's $16.99. I did pick this up from Winners recently and I just love the setup of this. I just think it's so funny. This one is called the Rockstar Face Palette, the Balm Jovi. Doesn't get any better than that. I like the colors that they have in here. They are a little bit different, a little more rock and roll and on the smoky side. You also get 2 lipstick colors down here as well as a blush and highlighter. It's a good all-in-one palette, you know what I'm saying? Since I haven't played around with this one very much, I am going to hang on to it. I also have several dupe palettes that I have used for a couple of dupe videos recently. I did pick up one of the eyeshadow palettes from a store called Beauty Box in Brampton, and it's a store that sells a lot of indie brands and a lot of really great dupe palettes. It's also where I find all of my JCat Beauty makeup. The other palettes that I have, I did end up ordering off of Amazon, as you may remember. So let's quickly go through what I am hanging on to. The first is this Beauty Creations palette. I love all of these colors here. It definitely reminds me of one of the Huda Beauty palettes. I haven't played around with this too much, but from all of my swatches, I've really been enjoying it, so it's staying with me. I've also got a palette from Beauty Glaze called Glitz and Glam, and this one's a little bit different because it's got some glitter colors as well as some matte colors, and this one in particular reminds me of the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. And again, because I haven't played with this one yet, it's gonna hang around in my collection just a little bit longer. Of course, I still have my dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette by Beauty Glazed. This one is staying in my collection, and I'm being very careful about how I hold it up because I don't want eyeshadows falling out again. There's also the Sunset Dusk palette, which is another really good dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I've actually really enjoyed playing with this one, so I am going to hang on to it. The one palette that I am going to be returning though is this one here. This is called the Magic Professionals Cosmetics palette. It's a 16 color eyeshadow palette, and there's just some really weird smell coming out of this palette. I can't quite put my, oh my god. Ugh. I can't even hold this palette next to me anymore because that smell is so bad. It's like a cross between gasoline and burning tires, like burning rubber. I don't know if that's something that I want to put on my eyes. So unfortunately, I am just going to throw that one in the garbage. I don't even want to donate that one to a friend because I don't want to take that chance. The next palette that I'm going to share with you is very near and dear to my heart. It is from Lime Crime. This is the Venus palette, and this was sent to me by one of my good friends, Nicole. Nicole does have her own YouTube channel. I'm going to link all of her information in my description box, so just make sure you expand that so you can find her channel and check out some of her videos. She and I were FaceTiming one day and she was telling me all about this palette, and when she initially showed me these colors, oh my god, I nearly had a coronary because I fell in love, and she was so kind to go and pick one up for me, and she sent it over, and I am so thankful. Nicole, thank you so much. The Maybelline Burgundy Bar palette is also going to stay in my collection. It's beautiful, love using it. It's still relatively new, so it ain't going nowhere. Same goes for my 2 Katy Kat eyeshadow palettes. This one here is called Cool Cat, and this one here is called Hot Cat. And I love both of these equally, and I can't stand apart with them, so they're staying in my collection. I also have a palette from NYX. It's the I Love You So Mochi. This is the Sleek and Chic eyeshadow palette. And I love this because it has eyeshadows as well as pressed pigments. This one here and this one over here are pressed pigments. Let me show you how stunning they are. Like, look at the pigment. Oh my God. Yep, you saw it here first, folks. This palette is thebomb.com. I think I'm too old to say that. If you've watched any of my recent palette reviews, you will have already seen that I reviewed these two palettes and love them. They're both from Hard Candy, so I am gonna hang on to these. I've got a great palette from Ace Beauté. This is the Quintessential palette, and I love these colors. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe I haven't done a full review on this, even though I've played around with these colors a few times. I love them. The pigment is so crazy. Like, let me take this really bright gold color. I'll take this really nice coral color down here. I'll take the blue, and you know what? Let's grab the black as well, because you can also tell how good an eyeshadow formula is based on how well the black performs. Yeah. Tell me these colors aren't awesome. This eyeshadow palette is so good, and I can't wait to see this brand come out with more. I also have more of the 5-pan Natasha Denona palettes that I can never get rid of. These will always stay as a permanent item in my makeup collection. Of course, they're sticking around because of the eyeshadow formula, but I also paid a pretty penny for those, so they ain't going nowhere. The Too Faced Sweet Peach palette is definitely gonna hang around as well. I really love these colors. They're so pretty, and I don't think I can stand apart with this one. When I attended a makeup seminar, I ended up getting this palette here in a goodie bag. It's called the Rose Metals palette, a hybrid palette from Velvet 59, and oh my goodness, these colors are so pretty, and they wear really nicely on the lids. Like, I'm just gonna take a couple of colors here, run them across the back of my hand, and you'll just see how crazy pigmented they are. Definitely keeping this one. I talked about Clara Cosmetics palettes in, I think, part 1, but I do have a couple more palettes here. Unfortunately, they're not labeled, so I can only show you what they look like. Some nice warm tones in this one here with gigantic pan sizes, and then you've got even warmer tones on this side over here. Again, very much like the Modern Renaissance palette. That orange color is calling me. These two are certainly hanging around a little bit longer. From BH Cosmetics, I've got this palette right here. It's called the Warm Stone Marble Collection palette. I've used this palette in the past for a couple of looks, but it's not something that I reach for regularly, so it is one that I am going to donate. I have a crap ton of Morphe palettes, and I'm not going to sit here and open up each one because it's going to take way too much time, but they're all stored. Oh my God, that would have been bad. That would have been so bad. They are all stored in this bin right here, and they sit right next to my vanity, so I reach for them whenever I need them. I will crack open one of these palettes here just to show you what they look like. I do have the 35F open right now, and as you can see, it's just a really great mix of colors. Love this. I also did buy, yeah, I cracked and I bought the Jaclyn Hill palette. I really do enjoy these colors. They look gorgeous. They wear really well. It's just a good palette, so I'm hanging on to it. And during the holiday collection, I did pick up 2 of these smaller Morphe palettes. I've got the 15N Night Master palette, which has these gorgeous purple tone colors in here. And I've also got this one here, the 15D, called Day Slayer. I haven't played around with Day Slayer as much as I have a Night Master, so I am gonna hang on to both of these. From IMATS this past year, I did pick up the Nicole Concilio and Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadow palette. This was their collaboration. It had a bunch of crazy colors in here that are great. I mean, the formula is fantastic, but it's just not a palette that I reach for very frequently. But I feel like this is a palette that I would miss if I did give it away, so I am gonna hang on to it. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. This is the home stretch. The next palette I want to share with you is this one here from Dose of Colors. This is the Katie and Desi collaboration. I love these on the lids. It's not going anywhere. Physicians Formula. This one here is Smoky Plums. I showed you guys, I think, the nude palette, Naturally Nude, in part 1. Here is the other one. I finally found it. Love the formula of this. Oh my god. These are just so creamy and they wear so nicely on the eyes. Blend out like a dream. You can't go wrong with this one. I have 2 of these Smashbox Cover Shop palettes, and I remember buying these initially to review them, but I never got around to it, and so I never ended up using them. They're not palettes that I reach for or really have any desire to reach for. This one in particular here, which is called the Metallic Eyeshadow Palette, it's just meh, you know, it's pretty much untouched except for a couple of swatches, so I think this one I'm actually going to give away, but I'm going to hang on to Golden Hour just a little bit longer and see if I can maybe play with some of these more mauve tone colors. I have this gigantic palette from Urban Decay. What is this one actually called? Beauty with an Edge eyeshadow palette. You've got some really cool neutral colors on this side, some other more bold colors on this side here. I'm trying not to blind you with this mirror. It's a little bit hard to show you. But I actually like this palette. These colors are really, really nice. It's just really bulky. The packaging sucks on this one. I sound so bougie when I say that, but really all I want is this part of the palette. I really don't care about this big gigantic container that it comes in. I wish they had just put this in a little plastic palette like this or one of the cardboard ones, but whatever. They wanted to try something a little bit different with packaging. This next palette is from Model's Own. It is something that I recently found, and this is only in the last couple of days at Winners. I really like the way this palette looks. The colors are beautiful. I have yet to play with it, so it is going to stay with me for a little bit longer until I can really formulate some thoughts around it. Of course, the Skinny Dip palette from Buuut is going to stay with me. I love these colors, especially if I'm looking for a really extra pop of foiled shadows on my eyes, something to really make them stand out, and these colors are just impeccable. Magic Hour is one of my favorite colors, and it just makes your eyes look so, so good. I mean, look at that. Oh, and let me swatch Tan Lines for you. Tan Lines goes right next to it, and you can see they're just so pigmented, so beautiful. I wish they had made all of their formulas match these ones here. Unfortunately, the other 2 Buuut palettes that I have in my collection are getting donated, but this one here is staying with mama. I have 2 Sephora Pro palettes that I purchased when they first came out, and I have been loving them. The first one here is the Warm Toned palette. And as you can see, these colors, oh, right up my alley. There's also the Editorial palette, which has lots of really nice bright pops of color. I can never get rid of this palette. It's just perfect in every way. And finally, I have the BH Cosmetics Pro Eyeshadow Palette. I love all of these colors and the different finishes that they have. This is something that is going to stay in my collection for a while just because it's so eclectic. And that does it. That is my entire eyeshadow palette collection. I know this looks like a lot of makeup to you, but I have collected this over a number of years, probably a little more so in the last 2 years, but I've been building this collection for at least 4 or 5 years, so don't think I just go out and I buy all of these eyeshadow palettes in a very short amount of time. They have been with me for a while. I think I really did pull out the palettes that I no longer use, and I'm very excited to actually give them to a few friends and some family members, so woohoo, good job. Hopefully this video was fun to watch. If you enjoyed it, you know exactly what to do. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. You can also connect with me on all of my social media. I'm gonna link everything for you where? Y'all know, in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I really hope you are all having an amazing day no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!